Speaker of the House, Speaker Johnson is with us now. Mr. Speaker, appreciate you making the time. We can discuss some shutdown and other issues.
Buck, great to be with you. I look forward to that interview. That's timely stuff with Taiwan. We watch it very closely, so I'm glad you got to go over there and see it firsthand.
Thank you. Yeah, please do listen in. I asked him, I said, what's your message directly to President Trump? People should know that we don't have an embassy there. We don't have direct high level meetings with the government of Taiwan. So getting the word around, I think, is really important because things are heating up with China. But in the meantime, Mr. Speaker, just bring us up to the latest here on, are we calling it the Schumer shutdown? I am. But what's the latest on this government shutdown? What's happening?
Yeah, I wish there was more developments to report, but we're stuck at a stalemate. It is the Schumer Democrat shutdown. And I did a little press conference this morning just trying to lay out once again, reiterating the simple truths. I mean, the truth has been obscured a bit by all these Democrats, their relentless efforts at spinning what everybody knows to be true. I mean, look, this is a clean, continuing resolution. And what we mean by that is there's no partisan provisions in it, no tricks, no gimmicks. We're just simply trying to keep the lights on because as we were going through the appropriations process, we ran out of clock because the end of the fiscal year is September 30th and not the end of the calendar year at December 31. So we needed more time. And Chuck Schumer's always been a champion of CRs. He never wanted to shut down the government because he knows how dangerous it is. And I mean, but roll the tape. I mean, he gave the most impassioned speeches on this very subject in March of this year. This is like 6 months ago, but something changed. And what I'm trying to point out to everybody, this is very simple. It comes down to Chuck covering his own tail.
All right. Well, so there's the politics of this for Schumer, which, because I want to talk about the healthcare piece too, but your friend on the Republican side of the Senate, Senator Cruz, brought this up, that there's some specific political calculation here for Chuck Schumer. Can you just elaborate on that a little bit?
I'll elaborate as briefly as I can because it's pretty simple. Look, Chuck Schumer is a far left progressive politician. Everybody knows that. He's been in Congress for 44 years, brother, about most of our lives, right? He's been serving here. But
it's actually longer than I've been alive, Mr. Speaker. But
okay, there you go. All right, yeah. I was going to, all right. So I'm giving myself a little credit here. But look, all of your life he's been here, okay? But he is yesterday's news. He's the last generation of leadership. He's 74 years old now, and he's no longer the cool kid. Here's the problem Chuck Schumer has, plain and simple. The Marxists are now running New York. That's his state, right? They're about to elect Mamdani, an open Marxist, to be the mayor of America's largest city. Chuck Schumer is terrified by that because he knows that he's going to get a challenge from his left in his next Senate reelection bid. And that's a problem. Could be AOC or somebody else, but it's almost a guarantee at this point, and he's almost guaranteed to lose. So he's got to show a fight against Trump. They didn't have any fight to show because, again, we have a clean CR to keep the government open. So they concocted this faux issue. They're trying to argue that this is suddenly a debate about health care. Never was. This is about simple funding, a simple funding measure. The health care debate is for the 3 months ahead of us going into the end of the year. That's the calculation. All this, all the pain inflicted upon the American people is to cover one guy's political future. And his name is Chuck Schumer, and he happens to lead the Democrats in the Senate.
Now, we've got that political piece of this. Can you dive a little more into the healthcare for illegals debate that has just been all over? And I was on the other side of the world and trying to follow it from Taiwan last week. But this has been a major issue. Democrats seem to be taking multiple positions at the same time on it. Oh, it never happens. It only happens a little bit. It happens sometimes, but it's a good thing. What is the truth about the concerns that illegal immigrants, illegal aliens in this country are accessing, even indirectly, federal dollars for health care?
Thank you. There's a couple of very important facts that are irrefutable, and I laid them out in my press conference this morning. It's all on social media. But here's the thing, okay? The Democrats have been wanting to give taxpayer-funded benefits to illegals, and they actually did it. We know that. Go back to rewind to 2020, to the presidential debate stage, when everybody was trying to get the Democrat nomination, and they asked all of them in that debate, raise your hand if you would like to give taxpayer-funded benefits and health care to illegal aliens. Every single Democrat candidate on the stage raised their hand, including Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. So when they got elected, they did that for 4 years. They used all the forces of the government and they expanded these programs to illegals. We fixed it, Buck. We passed the one big beautiful bill. Republicans got control in last November of Congress, and we pushed through the working families tax cuts. Okay, and in that bill, we reversed all that nonsense. We took the health care benefits away from illegals. It was never intended. Medicaid was never intended for non-U.S. citizens, and we fixed it. So what Chuck Schumer did, because remember, they needed a political issue now. It's a fight over health care. They filed this monstrosity of a counterproposal just to keep the lights on, just to keep the government open. They are demanding now that we spend $1.5 trillion of additional taxpayer funds on big liberal priorities. Included in that is reversing the changes we made and restoring taxpayer-funded health care to illegal aliens. Fact, it is a fact. Go to the website, speaker.gov, pull it up for yourself. Don't take my words for it. Go look at Chuck Schumer's document that he filed in the congressional record. That we have highlighted there, page 57, section 2141, that does exactly what I just said.
Now, can you just explain to us? We're speaking to Speaker of the House, Johnson, here. How does that mechanism work? As in, what is the process through which illegals are accessing federal dollars for their health care, or how is the state playing budgetary games, in this case, states like California and New York, in order to give illegal aliens health care that is funded in some way by the federal government?
Well, there's a number of ways it's done, and it's a great question. And there is an exhibit right there on that website, speaker.gov, that shows you this in a simple chart, okay? The Democrat continuing resolution, Chuck Schumer's Gambit here, would spend nearly $200 billion of American taxpayer funds on healthcare subsidies for illegal immigrants and other non-citizens. Now, what are we talking about? There's 6 specific ways they do it. We reverse them all in the Working Families Tax Cut Act, the one big beautiful bill. And in a quick summary, what they are is we in our bill, we ended Medicaid funding for most non-citizens. That's about $6.2 billion in savings. We ended the emergency care for illegal aliens that had been expanded. Believe it or not, California, for example, expanded Medicaid to cover able-bodied illegal alien adults. And in the process of all this, we call that the California loophole. We ended that. They also were literally, hospitals were being reimbursed more for treating illegal aliens in an emergency room than American citizens, like
Wow.
pregnant American single women. I mean, it's just madness, okay? We took all that out. We reversed the fraud, waste, and abuse in Medicaid, Medicare, Obamacare funding for most non-citizens, these special rules they put in Obamacare for immigrants. You add it all up, it's $192.8 billion, okay? We reversed that in the big, beautiful bill, and Chuck Schumer, on page 57 of his counterproposal CR, would reverse all of it. It's a fact. They can't refute it. Not a single one of them have done it on TV or radio or anywhere. They cannot, as John Adams said, facts are stubborn things.
And yet here we are. What are we, 6 days into this shutdown? 7 to 6 days, something like that.
6 days, yeah.
What is your sense, Mr. Speaker, for where this is going? And also, can you speak to, Mr. Speaker, the possibility of not just furloughs but some trimmed federal jobs as a result of this shutdown? Where does that lie?
Well, there's two good and two important questions. I think with regard to when does this end, as soon as we get a handful, we need 5 or 6 additional Democrats in the Senate to come to their senses and stop the madness. They've always voted for CRs in the past. They need to recognize real Americans are being hurt here. I reminded everybody in the press conference this morning, I said basic civics. Y'all remember, we don't have enough Republican votes to get out of this mess because you need 60 votes in the Senate. Our problem is we only have 53 Republicans there. So you've got to have Democrats that get off of this plank that they've walked themselves out on and do the right thing for the people. So we'll see. It goes probably at least another week. They painted themselves into a corner. But with regard to the real pain, brother, real Americans.
Mr. Speaker, hold on a sec. Did you move somewhere? Because we had a beautiful, crystal clear cell connection, and then it got a little bit funky there for a second. So if I could get you to either step to the other side of your office or wherever you were, or hopefully maybe the connection will just clear up. Go for it.
Yeah, is that a little better?
Yes, it is. There we go. Crystal clear.
Good.
Keep going.
Okay. I think it's the Russians. They're obscuring our thing from the Capitol here. So listen. So here's the deal. We're in this situation, and it's causing real pain to real American people. You're talking about infants, and children that have their nutrition subsidies, their supplemental nutrition being halted right now. You got health services to veterans. You got our troops and our border patrol agents and TSA. They're all working to protect Americans with no pay right now. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So real pain by real people. The question is, how long are the Senate Democrats going to allow this to go on? And among all those pain points, there's a lot of things involved. Now, you talked about the furlough of federal workers. Russ Vought, our good friend, runs the Office of Management and Budget in the Trump administration. His job is to scale down the government because Chuck Schumer decided to turn off the funding streams. He has no choice in the matter. He takes no pleasure in it. But he has to sit down and evaluate everything the federal government does and triage it, right? He's got to determine what are the most essential services, policy, personnel that we carry on and which are less so. And anybody who's in his position in any administration of these circumstances has that responsibility. It falls to our friend Russ. We pray that he uses wisdom and discernment, but he has no choice in the matter.
Mr. Speaker, appreciate you making the time for us, sir.
You got it, brother. Take care.
Man, these Democrats, it's funny. The more the truth gets out, the worse their position looks. Not just on this, pretty much on everything, but on this, it is absolutely the case. We appreciate Speaker Johnson being with us there. Look, you want to have the right tools at home to defend yourself and protect your family. An umbrella or a baseball bat by the door isn't going to cut it in an emergency. Our sponsor, Sabre, makes the most effective non-lethal protection tools you can have. You can go big with their pepper spray projectile launchers. In fact, there's a pepper spray launcher bundle up at saberradio.com right now that I would highly recommend. SABRE, saberradio.com. They've got that pepper launcher. They've also got an innovative 2-in-1 pepper light, which is both a flashlight, which you need for light, and pepper spray. If you're outdoors walking at night, it's a great tool to have to keep yourself safe. This Sabre is the company we trust to provide our families with the best non-lethal protection tools. If Sabre makes it, we've got it. Clay uses them. I use them. Decide what you're most comfortable relying on. Go to saberradio.com. You'll save 15% there. That's SABRE radio.com or call 844-824-SAFE, 844-824-SAFE.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And be sure to hit that like button.